Welcome back to Oklahoma Live. Here we are with Patrick Allman, our social media guru. Or can I call you our social media nut?
I see what he did there.
Better.
With the almond, the chocolate cover. Oh, see?
It took me a second, but now that I'm in on the joke, I like it.
I can say that because me and Patrick are good friends.
Exactly.
We're good friends. And here's the thing. We've had some weather, Patrick. We've
Yes.
had some things. And social media, surprisingly, can help you be in the know of what's happening.
Exactly. Social media is a great resource for weather, and it's particularly interesting in my household because my wife is a weather geek.
Really?
I mean,
Really?
it excites her. You know, there's a
Love
tornado
it.
a block away, and she's excited. I'm like, look, making sure the insurance is current.
Exactly.
And
She should have been a meteorologist.
She should have
Yeah.
been, and she did a little bit in the military. But whenever the weather's good, we are both on all of our favorite internet websites, and I have a list of them here.
Okay. Yeah,
what's the best?
And the first one here is this one from a meteorologist named Aaron Tuttle.
Okay.
He has his Facebook page. I'll bring up his Facebook page here. And Aaron Tuttle is a meteorologist for the government now. He used to be a news meteorologist, but he does this as a hobby on the side.
Oh.
He updates people with really current weather information, and he just does it as a hobby on the side.
Let me, if you mind, stop you there. Aaron Tuttle is probably a great guy, but if it's his hobby, will it be consistent? Or I mean, is
yes.
it something you can rely on?
Oh yes, because he still does weather for the government.
Okay, so it's just part of it.
Exactly. It's just him doing his projections, you know, as opposed to doing it personally on his spare time. He does it, opposed to doing it professionally, he does it personally in his spare time. He lays out the weather maps. He says, this is what's coming up. That's, to tell you the truth, that was my main weather resource because he's on Facebook. It's updated. He's updated like every couple of hours versus on TV. You have to wait for the weather forecast to come out. So he's just up there saying, oh, the model has changed. It's going to move 5 miles east or 5 miles north. He's up there always updating the weather.
Yeah, and he's going to be one of the most accurate because of working for the government.
Sure,
Exactly.
he knows what's going on.
Exactly. So if you're on
Very neat.
Facebook, I would connect to his fan page at facebook.com/ATSfans. Another website, for those of you that are a weather geek and you're socially inclined, is one called W Underground.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about that one twice. This is weatherunderground.com. And this is really cool, this screenshot right here. What this is people that are really into weather, they can put these little weather stations in their backyard, and it will report up to this website. So what they're showing right there is a list of people in Oklahoma City that have these weather stations in their backyard, what the wind speed is, what the temperature is, what the humidity is. So as opposed to getting it from the main, you know, we always get our weather from the airport, we get it from people's backyards. And then there's a graphic map up here that shows the same information. So you can always go to wunderground.com, put in your zip code, it'll show you all the weather stations in everyone's backyards all over the city. So what's the temperature in my neighbor's backyard? Kind of thing.
Yeah, instead of just knowing the centralized airports or different things like that.
Exactly.
It can vary.
Neat
Exactly.
idea.
And it was kind of interesting. I was preparing for this session, and I put a Facebook update that said, by the way, I'm going to be talking about all these cool weather sites. Here's one of them. And I got a response back from a lady that said, oh, that's the one for our house.
So she watches and reports the weather.
Exactly.
Very cool, because as we know in Oklahoma, Guyman can be doing one thing as opposed to maybe down in Ada, it's doing something completely different.
Exactly.
And with the wide array, you've got to know more exactly what's happening.
Exactly. So if you want to know it down to like the zip code, there's some resources out there for that. And the last one here that I'm going to pull up live, or excuse me, the second last one, is one called sickweather.com.
Okay.
And sickweather.com, what this is it looks on social media for people talking about being ill, and it plots it on a map. So if you say I have the flu, or I'm not feeling good, or I have a cold, things like that, it'll actually pull that up on the map. And so there's a live version of it right there.
Wait a second, I think one of our cameramen has something. Get out of here, Jay. Get out of here, Jay.
Exactly. So this is an interesting concept. You know, the concept of everyone contributing to the news and contributing to social media. If any kind of outbreak really happened, that would actually be very useful information.
So it's a complainer detector. All the people complaining out there.
Exactly.
No, but I'm sure that there is a correlation there, so I'm sure it would be very helpful. And the one that we were just showing a little bit ago, that was all the people that have the flu in the Oklahoma area.
So if someone says, I had flu, it says, oh.
Yes.
It detects it right there on that
We
website.
got this. Yes,
Very
exactly.
cool. So
Flu's breaking out.
for the normal guy, I mean, I'm on the websites. I have my top. I've got your Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram. But for you, how do you find these in-depth websites? Where do you even begin?
I think that the best place to probably begin is just to go. I think if you start with one of them, it links to all the other ones. For several years now, I've known about weatherunderground.com because my wife has been a weather geek, and I'm always on Facebook, and I watched some other kind of weather-oriented people, and it's just kind of wildfire spread, no pun intended, when it comes to the weather. But but I just saw other people talking about it, and now I have a list of bookmarks, of weather bookmarks, and so when the weather kicks in, my wife and I are at these websites, multiple tabs, pulling them all up.
And then, of course, there's an app as well.
Right.
Forget about that.
If we're going to have a little bit of fun, yeah, there's an app called Swacket.com, and I'll put up some screenshots of this. And what Swacket is it tells you what the weather, it tells you what you should wear for the weather.
Oh.
It gives you weather fashion tips.
I wish we had that weather that was just on that other page where it was sunny.
Oh, it was sunny and shorts. Look at that.
Exactly. So
Partly
when,
cloudy.
Oh, and then
So-
we're taking it back a few years.
Exactly, and so it gives you some clothing ideas, and then one of them even went to like what your pet should be wearing for the weather.
Oh, stop it.
So what kind of sunglasses, do you want your pet to wear when it's hot outside? This is important information.
Great
my
websites. And you know
gosh,
what?
I
We
love
might be
it.
finding out what our pet of the week should be wearing.
Exactly.
Because they have on a cute little item of clothing. Patrick, thank you for being here, my man.
My pleasure. Glad to see you
thank
back. Glad you made it back
Have
okay.
a great, happy new year. We're going to talk to you more and find out social media tips in the
Gotcha.
new year. So thanks for being a part of it.
My pleasure.
Speaking of dressing up our pet, take a look at who we're going to meet next. It's our pet of the week, as I think they're dressed for the weather. Plus, we're going to find out some of the biggest news that happened in entertainment.